Are we ready?
Yes?
Okay, so I'd like to call the meeting of the Excess Sales Tax Subcommittee to order, and members present are Alder Barb Dorf, Alder Bill Galvin, Alder Guy Zima, Finance Director Don Fuller, and City Attorney Vanessa Chavez. And Kevin Bonk is excused. So, approval of the agenda. Did you?
Right, the only item on the
Yep.
agenda is the
Okay.
review with possible action applications for the excess sales tax.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion approved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. All right.
Thank you for the summary.
Yeah,
I was hoping I wouldn't have to work off my.
Yeah, me
scratch.
too.
You're welcome.
So I want to give a report, first of all, because I did go to finance. And I really wanted to see if I could get some direction from finance about the parks, or the capital, what is it, capital improvement, Dawn, I think we
Right.
call it capital improvement.
Mhm.
And I wasn't really able to. I think what we could do, though, is give a recommendation. If we believed that some of these projects should be funded with the other 2 point, actually, it's now more than 2.8, because Joe's motion, Alder Moore's motion failed at finance. Remember, I don't know if you remember that communication that he put in, he wanted the money to go into the revolving loan, and that did not
It was just received and placed on file.
was received, yeah, I guess it didn't fail. It was received and placed
Well, we
on
put some
file.
on here though.
We did, so that's not a problem. But what I'm saying is now they have 2.9.
Almost three.
Almost
Right.
3 million. So perhaps we could make some recommendations for the things that could fall under that, and then we'd have more money to distribute to the things that absolutely couldn't fall under that. That's what I wondered if we could consider today.
You're talking about the Red Smith thing?
Red Smith, yeah, Red Smith, Whitney,
In Whitney Park.
I think, but you guys can look closer. If there's anything else, like the Military Avenue thing, do you think that could fall under capital
Infrastructure.
improvement?
I would think.
Infrastructure?
It could, because they are going to.
Military Avenue,
The Arch or the.
If you don't
it's
think
not
it
gonna-
could, we
it's
can
not
leave
gonna be
it.
ours.
I think
That's
they
what's
planned on,
gonna be.
in their proposal, they did plan on deeding it over to the city. It's like, I'm thinking of it like, we have the I-43 Industrial Park sign, there's another sign out on Ashland Avenue, so we have different signs that lead into districts, so I believe in their proposal, they did plan on deeding it over to the city.
Does the city usually accept those when they want to deed it over to us?
I have to be honest, I wasn't here when they originally did it. I'm guessing the city themselves actually built those structures.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first time that I would say that maybe someone else is building a structure.
Because once we take it,
I mean-
we accept all responsibility for maintenance, upkeep, and
Mhm.
everything else.
So,
I see capital improvements as stuff we currently have,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean that
well, okay, I
that's
mean,
the only definition, but that's what I
that was just
suggest.
another one that might have, we can just leave that on there. Then, of all of these, to me, is it narrowed down then to the Red Smith Neighborhood Association one and the Whitney Park one?
Right.
That we could make a
Because
recommendation?
Whitney Park would be replacing existing lights with
Oh, that's the other thing that happened.
more decorative lights that are,
At the finance meeting, the comment was made that there was money that was to be donated for those lights, and they had thought it was going to be a full donation. Now the understanding after this request is that was a matching funds
So-
donation.
So we could cut that in half, you're saying?
Or we could just take it off and put it in that other,
Well, but-
request.
but-
Make a recommendation to finance that.
but is the 17.5,
Then
that gets
yeah,
matched with
I think that
17.5?
gets
Yes.
matched with 75,
Okay.
yeah. I think that does.
Oh,
So-
so that is the match?
That is the match, yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm
that was,
sorry.
So if
So-
they don't get the money, there's no matching funds.
right.
And in their proposal, they did outline where their funds were coming from.
Okay.
They actually specified the organization and the value.
All right.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that we should make a recommendation? If we were, personally, for the Red Smith one, I would want to recommend the full amount, you know, not just 50,000, because what are they going to do with 50,000? They can't
Well, they
build the
could-
bathrooms.
Well, we're kind of forcing them to do the rest up at capital improvements. But I thought we overall did a pretty good job here. The only thing I had to, somewhat suck in a little bit is the last four where we made these $10,000 donations, and these were either existing things, these are almost like charitable gifts, and I hate to start precedents, but anybody who needs money can just come to the city of Green Bay. Of course, all the developers seem to think they can do that, but they're supposedly promising something more. But I felt, well, this was not paying the whole way. It was making a contribution, and this is a one-time affair, as my fellow members pointed out, so I sort of accepted that. I don't have any problem with everything we have here. We've still got about 12,500 left here
We
to
do.
allocate.
We do.
And, are you saying, Barb, that if we don't fund all of it, it won't be funded at all as far as the Red Smith?
Well, they can't put bathrooms in for $50,000. They can't.
But is it your sense
But-
that they were opposed to using part of the 2.9 million?
No, it wasn't my sense. It was my sense that they wouldn't give me an answer on it, whether they would. But go
Are they
ahead.
just confounded, or what?
My notes from last time
Think so.
indicate that we would fund 50,000 from the economic development.
Right.
With the rest being sent to capital improvements contingent on funding from capital improvements.
Right, which is what I tried to get them to.
They're not gonna commit.
But do
They
they
weren't-
understand that? or-
I think they understand it, but I think they don't want to commit until all the asks are in from the city for the infrastructure request. So if they commit ahead of schedule to Red Smith, that means they're going to have everyone else coming in back door trying to get requests.
Well,
Yeah.
let's leave it as it is, and we'll go up to that meeting, and
Okay.
well, if it doesn't, we have to come back here and maybe make some adjustments.
And I think what we could do is, if you've got 50,000 that's allocated, everything else gets spent, you hold on to that until it's approved over there, and then if it's not, then you can deal with it on
You
this.
reallocate or whatever.
Okay. And I know Red Smith, didn't they have some other things in their request?
Well,
Yes.
That could have been less than 50, where it was in,
This was the number one priority.
I know
that
it was
they had.
number one, but they had
Yep.
three. So maybe
Yep.
they, if the worst case happens, they could do one of the other things if we left it in there. Well, and-
Again, I'm not comfortable with Red Smith, in that if you talk to Donnie Kramer, Parks has a long list that's been there for many years of projects that weren't done. What Red Smith is doing is taking a project that's not on the list and moving it up to the top of the list ahead of everyone else that's been waiting. And that's why I think that the 2.8, 2.9 million in infrastructure needs, if they're gonna allocate it, should go to the finance committee, leave it up to them, and then council to finalize it, where that money goes, if it's gonna go to any park projects. I just think there's many other parks out there that would like projects done. Of course, they
and they
didn't
didn't
submit.
submit an application, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but
they didn't.
this, again, I have a hard time seeing
You're
how.
saying maybe this application didn't even belong here, that you're saying?
Right, I think it belongs more as, it's kind of like they're taking as many shots as they can, hoping one hits and sticks. And I can't fault them for it, but then I know this is your district, so.
Right, so I'll be more,
But I'm like, there's a lot of other park projects out there, and I think that, we're looking at economic development, we're looking at projects that are gonna bring tax dollars into this community, and unless they're gonna, I just don't know how bathrooms out there are gonna bring tax dollars into this community.
well, in Norwood Lights from Whitney Park.
Well, yeah, you're right. About the only draw I could see there is because it creates a better atmosphere, which makes people, technically raises the
Feel
property
safer.
value. I mean, that was a sketchy kind of, line to draw, connecting the dots there.
Well, we're trying to do more development in that area, and the attractiveness of that park and the lighting of the park to keep.
Of Whitney?
the-
Absolutely.
Okay.
Keep the alcoholics
convinced.
out of that
Right.
park.
Oh,
and everything
absolutely.
else was the idea there, and
Right.
this was
Okay.
a relatively small amount of
And,
money.
I'm convinced.
absolutely, and that's why I bought into that, but the bathroom one is the hardest one out
What
of all
what
these.
else did they have on?
They had a ball field at an estimated cost of $87,200 and an asphalt path of $83,500.
It just
Number one
cuts
was
through the park.
bathrooms.
And I mean, let's face it, you look at that area out there, it's not like the Whitney Park area. It's a very nice area to live, very nice homes out there. They've got a beautiful park already as is. Could we always use upgrades and improvements on our parks? Certainly, and that's why I think, when you look at it,
Or would you be willing to make it as a recommendation of finance if you
well,
fund it?
absolutely, I would have no problem recommending that, because I have been out there with my soccer team, and there's no bathrooms but the one portage on, yeah, so
Yeah.
having a nice bathroom out there, at least something that flushes and more than one person can use at a time, you don't have to worry about someone tipping it over.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, I would
Okay.
wholeheartedly make a recommendation to finance.
I know that if they've got 2.9 million, that's probably gonna be like holding a candle to the sun of what the total needs are. I mean, we know that just the water system has a, minimum long-term need of 150 million, they were telling us. But even lift stations and things like that to try to alleviate some of
Right.
the flooding is, those are 100,000 apiece, to add, to try to solve some of those problems. So, I mean, they got a lot of needs. I mean, you just look at the medians in the city of Green Bay, big chunks of cement out of them, grass, weeds growing in them. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done in the city of Green Bay, and, I thought, well, they bought it here. This is in addition to that. If we funded it, I was initially in favor of it, and I understood your point of view on it too. So I don't know if you want to take this out, and
That would be my recommendation, is that we take that
or
out.
you put it to revolving fund or something like
Well,
that.
that, or maybe some of these other ones that do bring dollars in, tourist dollars into the community. I mean, the revolving, what is it?
We
Revolving-
gave them a pretty hefty amount. I wonder if there's.
Revolving loan fund, yes.
Yeah. I wonder-
Gave them 150. I was thinking more of these last
Well,
four.
it's just a revolving loan fund that doesn't go very far. I mean, aren't people, they aren't doing $5,000 projects there, are they?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not that knowledgeable of what people get for loans for that program, what the size
Well,
loans are.
Joe wanted
and things like that.
160, which didn't, which was received in place and file. What if we gave some to the Public Arts Commission, kind of just divided it between those two? I'd be good with 25 for the revolving loan and then 25 for the Green Bay Public Arts Commission, because they asked for 250 and revolving loan asked for 350. So we'd be giving half to each one of those. They'd each get half. There's a lot of ways to
Right,
cut
well,
this pie.
and my
There is.
recommendation would have been to split it 4 ways between the Croc, House of Hope, the Railroad Museum, and the Children's Museum.
Plus, we have 12.5 left at the bottom.
Those are the four that I think don't even belong on
I
the
know,
list, so.
I knew that, but
Well, you know
so
what?
there's
Those
that
are all
going on right here.
And they're all good projects,
Trying to,
but they're all charitable contributions, and
consensus.
the city taxpayers, aren't here to start picking your favorite charity to give to, because there'd be no end to it. Everybody has a different one.
I guess what I look at with the Railroad Museum and the Children's Museum is that they are increasing the amount of people that come and spend.
so maybe just those two.
Right, I mean, those are the ones that have been
The Railroad
shrinking.
Museum is already established. I don't know that this is gonna make that big of a difference. You'd rather have it put towards some new efforts, I think.
Then you're looking at new efforts in the revolving loan fund and the Public Arts Commission.
What are the Public Arts Commission's real needs, though? I mean,
Well, Once they,
Isn't this bureaucracy we're funding here? or-
not really, once they're established, they'll be eligible for state and federal monies. But this money was a way to get them kick-started, to start working, getting projects started in the community or to preserve existing projects that are already in the community.
But I mean, gee, you put 100,000 to that, I actually thought that was heavy, you know?
Well, they're gonna be.
You got any ideas out there, David?
No, I really don't know much about it.
I mean, if 100,000 can't get them started, I don't know what can get them started, so, I mean, obviously, are these gonna be some ongoing paid positions in the city budget?
I don't believe there's any paid positions already existing within the city. I know it's got Randy Scannell on it.
What do they wanna do with it?
Yeah, I forgot. We were looking at last week, I could answer that, but I got pictures. First. Think about these as they all look the same.
What would be the last one?
Probably it's gonna be for me too, right?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not finding it. What's the good one now?
It's right after Strickett Court.
Yeah, if things were in
Yeah, I don't
the
have
right
an order
order.
anymore.
Mine's not in order anymore. Oh, it actually was, by accident in order. Okay. It's skinny, it's really small, and it was way toward the bottom of my pile. Well, that's where I put the amounts. I know I put them somewhere.
Implement, facilitate grants program, advise and consult the city on projects, designs, and programs.
They'll leverage it by giving money a number of different places. You want to look at mine and I can look at
Okay.
those.
Yeah, they're
You know,
looking
this
at,
stuff bugs you can't find something.
I know it bugs me too, but
Yeah,
it
but-
looks like this on the top.
they have a goal of raising 300,000.
Looks like, you know what, and there was nothing else, it's a blank one. So it might even be that top one you have there because there was nothing written on the front. I had to write it on. That's it.
These miracles never cease.
There you go, right on time.
Well, you see, it says allocation of funds.
Yeah.
50,000 for a part-time art administrator. Well, you know,
Oh,
that's gonna have to be an ongoing position, right?
Right.
30,000 for permanent pads and footings of revolving art loan fund. I don't know what permanent pads and footings are, but.
I mean, would we do- put-
170,000 for annual grant program. They're gonna start handing out, you know, acquisition of permanent artwork, et cetera. So it sounds like they're gonna fund a position. You know what permanent
I think
pads
it
and
must
footings
mean
are?
footings, like, so if it gets pieces of art in, then they
Right,
put
there's-
them on the footing?
Underneath the financial plan, they say it's excavation, construction, and pouring concrete, so it'd be like a concrete pad
Oh,
to place the
okay.
art.
And then if you go down to number 4, it says that if they can get this started, there's 7 other sources where they can get monies from to continue those projects on down the road.
Well, I don't know. I feel like we give them a lot there to get started.
Well, look, we shouldn't be stuck then. I mean, we did give them 100,000, so where else could we, I would like to split the 50, if we're gonna do that.
We split it between the National Railroad Museum and the Children's
Well,
Museum.
that's-
I'm just saying, it's,
All right. I wonder if there's anything we could come to consensus on.
Well, we could add a little to the Elon Electric proposal for more greening.
How do you feel about the Eland Electric proposal?
I have no problem with that.
Okay, so if we maybe did,
Maybe we can do it 2, 3, 4. Remember, we have another 12.5 here.
we do have another 12.5. Maybe,
Was that
maybe,
75 or something?
why don't we, okay, here's like just a wild idea. We would take 25,000, put it in a revolving loan, divide the 12.5 up. It just split that between the National Railroad Museum and Children's Museum, so, because that's the leftover. So then that's something you would like, and then that's something you would like, and then the other 25 could go to the Eland Electronic. Should I say it again? Or are you guys thinking?
No, I think that's not a bad solution.
Really reticent about the museums. They've depended almost solely on fundraising and that to keep them going, and I don't know, they seem more a user of funds of the community than a producer of funds. I mean, I don't think that's such an attraction that it's making a difference. When people come to Green Bay, I think people that come here might just happen to see it. It doesn't become a destination to come to the Children's Museum. It's just something that, well, they're here, if they got kids, they might bring them there.
But the Railroad Museum, I don't know, I actually went out there then and I toured it. So because I wanted to see what they were talking about. Did you go out there?
I haven't been there
Any chance?
for a while. I
Yeah.
haven't been there for
Um,
5 years or something, but
Yeah, it was,
but I know, I thought it was pretty impressive at that time, so I don't know.
yeah, they showed me, well, we got this within our file, I guess, but they showed me how it's gonna look. There it is. So they're trying to put a roof over parts of it that currently aren't enclosed. And I don't know, I saw the rust and, kind of where the climate's not very good for some of the trains. How, it's getting kind of, it's cold and it's damp. So to increase the venue, they have weddings and such there already, but they're trying to increase the idea of getting more weddings coming in. And this is our land, apparently. It's
Can they,
really land.
do they have the ability to go out onto the railroad track there?
Yes.
I mean, do
They-
they ever
they-
do,
they do little
do they
rides.
ever take runs and, go up 50 miles?
They
and
did,
back?
but the new company that now runs the tracks won't allow it. But the previous company did, and they did do some of those
So I
things.
thought that's a way they could do some fundraising. too.
Right.
Well, and then they do dinners, or they do
Banquets.
little banquets. They have a track that they do run around, so they're doing some things. It just showed how
I'm just
they could
remembering going
expand
on
it.
one long ride one time.
I
Bob
bet that was
Young
cool. I bet that
on the
was cool.
council at that time, promote it.
And what I like is that they're increasing their attendance every year, which to me, if you got 90,000 people coming in, 90,000 people coming in, spending money, doing lunch, staying in a hotel. Same thing with the Children's Museum, they pay property taxes on that building. They're bringing in, I think they're
Well,
last.
that might be temporary, right?
Well, sure, I
Right.
mean, that's a process too, but.
That's only because they're leasing the building right now.
Right.
And they're in a fundraising deal to own the building when it's off the tax roll.
Right. But, I mean, we're looking to the future. They do bring quite a few people that come in and they're right downtown when they come in, which means they're using the hotels just down the block, using the restaurants within walking distance. I just see them as
But
something.
I just don't think they're coming to the Children's Museum and then staying at the hotel and eating at the restaurant. I think they're coming down for whatever other reason, and they might go there.
Now they've got, what, 80,000 was it, or 70-some thousand that came last year? Where was it? I'm gonna try and find this one.
That was something like that.
I mean, they had a significant, I thought a significant amount of people coming there. And it's, if you figure they're spending money in this area, it's a boon to the area, just like anything that brings in money. Especially if it's people that don't live here that are coming here. Those are extra dollars.
I'm not saying they put 200 people a day through there. My just anecdotal experience is that I hardly ever see anybody in there, but I don't know.
You need grandchildren.
Yeah, my grandchildren do love that museum. I have to say, they go there.
It's kind of,
So tentatively, we were talking about giving 25,000 more to the revolving loan fund for the city of Green Bay, 25,000 more to Eland Electronics, and then 6,250 each to the National Railroad Museum and the Children's Museum.
I thought it was, I had written down 12.5 for the Eland proposition, and then 12.5 split evenly between the
Oh,
railroad and.
that's
museum.
not what I meant.
That's okay, that's what I was thinking, because that would be
Okay.
a total of 50.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. I meant,
25.
yeah,
It
so.
still leaves us another 12.5.
It does?
I think so, if I got my
Oh.
numbers
No.
well, we have
Mm-mm.
62.5
No,
now.
no, that comes to 62.5 exactly. Because
Okay.
we take it out of the Red Smith, and then, this is with the caveat for me,
Okay, you're right.
that you guys agreed that we would ask the other group to consider the Red Smith bathrooms.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna ask finance to consider funding the Fred Smith bathroom program.
So how are we feeling about this?
I'm feeling good about this.
I'm feeling good about this. Guy?
So, say it again, you want to give 25,000 to more to?
Additional to the revolving loan fund. You thought that was a good
Okay.
idea, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then going down a little bit,
To Eland, 25,000 to Eland,
to Eland, right?
and then the remaining 12.5 you wanted to give to the
Two
Children's
museums,
Children's Museum.
right?
Well, you put a gun to my head, I'll have to say yes.
Oh, thank you. All right, so how would we like to do this? Do we want to make a motion to approve this list?
Make a motion to that effect.
Yes. make a
Okay.
motion. I'll second that.
And in that motion again is that we're going to ask for
Red Smith.
Red Smith to be funded.
Yes.
Okay? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Anything else we need to do, staff?
Nope, not that I know.
Get a pizza.
Okay, well, and which one were you guys here for?
The automobile gallery.
Which one?
The automobile gallery, which is similar to the Railroad Museum.
That was talked about at length last time.
Yeah, we didn't know about the meeting till like 6 o'clock on Friday night, and then
Oh,
That one didn't make the grade for us.
yeah.
We had, I had talked to, I tried to use my imagination on some of the others here, like the Railroad Museum and those things that they wanted to put bigger money to it, but I thought that, well, if they're be willing to have a 50-cent or $1 ticket tax or something for a set amount of time, that would end up bringing the revenue back into the city. So we'd be using it, and it would also give a little revenue stream back to the city that we might use for other things down the line. But did you do some research on that, Vanessa?
I did, we cannot do that.
Oh,
We cannot?
can I do it?
Impose
Have
a tax?
An entertainment tax or something?
No, our research has revealed no authority which allows us to create a tax outside of what's already authorized by law. So no, we wouldn't be able to do it.
It seemed to me, I'm just pushing back my memory for a while ago, I'm talking a couple decades now, but that, we had talked about an entertainment tax that we're gonna apply to certain things. And so if you could have an entertainment tax, if you'd say entertainment tax for a couple of specific things, like they're all museums here, whether it's a Children's Museum, Automobile Museum, and the Railroad Museum. But
We also conferred with the league just to make sure we weren't missing anything, but they
Did you ask them
agreed.
anything about entertainment tax?
We asked them about the potential of imposing a tax as was discussed, and they agreed that if there's no authority for a municipality to create a tax the way a county does, it's, the taxes are established by statute, and if there's not one permitted by statute, then there's no way to do it.
But we could give it as a loan to be repaid, and they could do it through a ticket tax or any way they wanted to.
That we could do, but we can't actually impose a tax itself.
So I was thinking, if that's, whatever you have to do to get something done, if you ask them to revise their proposals, if they ask for a loan to do those things and agree to raise their fees accordingly as they wanted to pay us back. And I don't know if they're interested in the loan or not, so.
So overall, it looks like we funded 16, right? Is that what you get,
Yes.
16 of the 27? So we had requests for 4.7 million, and we were able to distribute only 1 million. And so I guess at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Alder Galvin.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.